Can you see my screen?
It's we can see it. Okay, so guys, I'll just tell you first thing, whenever we ask something, just type 200 in the chat box so we will know it's working. Okay, so first of all, we have a particular agenda for you guys. So the way we are going to work is first we'll just give you who are we, like a basic formal introduction. That's fine. Then we'll start with how to ace hackathons, then how you can work collaborating with each other using different tools, and also we'll be giving you some demos. So, and how we made the particular project. So you will get an idea or a gist on how to do it in hackathons. Okay. So at any point in this particular session, you have questions or something, just type it in the chat box. Okay, just put it like Q with a capital Q colon and put your question. We'll answer it at the end of the session. Okay, so let's move on to
Okay.
the next.
So before we start, so we'll be mentioning several links throughout this session. So what I've done is I've created a web page where you can have a look at the links. So this has all the links as well as the slides that I'm presenting. So you can bookmark that for later. So let's begin. So hi guys, I'm Sahil. I'm a developer at ACM NIT. I'm also a contributor at Webpack and Dart. So Webpack is a JavaScript library and Dart is a language for Flutter. I'm also the founder of Renary, which is a software firm. And this coming summer, I'll be interning at Deutsche Bank.
Okay, so now about me. I'm Amy Jariwala. I'm the lead for DSC NIT Surat. And this summer, I interned as an outreach intern at Apache and worked on many Camel projects. Then I'm the co-founder at Renary. Renary was already introduced by Sahil. And for this coming summer, I'm interning at JPMC. So
Yeah.
that's
So
enough of introduction now.
so what's a hackathon? So basically, a hackathon is a team event. So it's stretched over a long period of time. So what it's like from anywhere between 24 to 48 hours. So groups of people come together, and the only goal is to have fun and write some piece of software which solves a great problem. So that's basically hackathons. Now hackathons can be offline or online. So nowadays they have been starting to get online. But in any case, hackathons are great fun. They give you with a whole lot of experience.
Okay, so now why is it a need to attend hackathons? I'll be telling you that because it's an obvious thing. You will have a question on why do I need to attend any hackathon? What's the requirement? So first thing is networking. So in this particular hackathon, you meet like people from different regions, different college, or some people you haven't seen, and also you will see many different judges. So with attending hackathons, your network already grows. When you interact with others, your network is just growing. Okay, so it's an amazing opportunity. Now, hackathons are usually done in teams. Okay, so obviously you learn the requirement of a team, how to do a teamwork bond, and get every single thing done properly. Now, there comes the perks of hackathons. There is free food, swags, and t-shirts. So that's like you get free food only in the offline hackathons, but swags and t-shirts are there for both offline and online hackathons. Now, also for the winners, if you win the hackathon, if you're in the first runner up, second runner up, or the winner of the hackathon, you get cash prizes and many other benefits as well. There are like lots of credits, lots of cash prizes for you, and it's really fun. Okay, now even if it's your first hackathon and maybe it's your first time doing anything, so you will be improving a particular skill set of yours in that. So that's like a complete win-win. Whenever you go to a hackathon, you give your best, you do whatever you want, but in the end, it's a win-win situation itself. You learn. Now, let's say you make a project and you might not have won, so it doesn't really matter. But if there are like the judges over there, like always 5 to 6 judges who look around and see your projects. So every single time there is some one judge or two who are looking for people, extraordinary people who are committed to work. So you might just get job opportunities as well. So Being in a hackathon is really fun, bonding work, and there are a lot of perks attached to it. So, next thing will be teaching you how to do a hackathon, the prerequisites, and the steps on what you do when you are in a hackathon.
Okay, great. So, so now the first thing to do in hackathon is first thing is to get into hackathon. So what's necessary is you guys need to have your GitHub profiles created and updated, LinkedIn profiles updated, as well as you need to have a resume. Thing is, there are many people who want to get into a specific hackathon. So to keep some bar, they will look at these three things most of the time. So keep those updated with any projects and any experiences that you have. That would greatly increase your chances into getting into these hackathons. So how how to hackathon? So I'll present a three-step process. Now this may sound very simple, but it's difficult to execute. So the first thing is you need to find a problem that you regularly face, and it's good to have that the problem has not been solved yet. Now this can be easy to say, but this is the hardest part to identify some problem that you face regularly. Now, once you have identified a problem, obviously this would be a very open-ended problem. So you need to come up with lots of solutions to the problem that you're facing. Now, again, as this is an open-ended problem, there can be many solutions, and then you need to decide upon a solution that you can build upon during the hackathon. So you need to try to look out for solutions which can be provided by tech or writing your own software. And the third step would be to choose a tech stack that matches your skill set as well as the problem statement. So essentially, you need whatever solution you're choosing, you need to be able to build that solution during the hackathon. Now, these three steps sound very simple, but there's a caveat. Many people start from number three. I'll give an example. Like many people go through the thought process of, for example, let's say, I'll be making a machine learning model wherein I can take in images and identify the objects from the images. Then the thought process goes like, okay, so I have this, so maybe I can write some um, Python code or something that allows me to import images and then list out the objects that my model sees. And then there'll be the next thought would be, okay, so this can be used by blind people who cannot see. So maybe by identifying the image objects in the image, I can read them aloud so they can see, uh, get to know what's around them through a webcam. Now this is a very this is the reverse way of thinking, that you are first focusing on tech, then you try to come up with a solution, and then you, for that solution, you design a problem. This the Your project sounds very cool, but since it's the problem is derived from the solution, most of the time you'd have difficulties scoring higher up in the hackathon. So always start with the problem, then the solution, then the take.
Sal, could you give a better layman understanding on what a problem is in a hackathon? Because some of the freshers don't understand it.
Okay, great. So a problem is any so now these hackathons usually have several streams. So they have certain themes on which you might decide to try to develop your project or software on. So some good example of themes are like healthcare. So healthcare or finance, or education. So these themes, what they do is they point you in a certain direction. For example, if you have finance, so a problem that you could try to solve is the younger generation, the students are not investing or saving money. So that could be a problem. Essentially, you need to identify a certain problem that you see yourself, and you may face it, and there is no good enough solution that you feel in this world. So pick a theme, try to find a problem, and then try to hack it out.
Okay, is that clear? Is it clear? Then we can move forward with it. Just type 200 for anything that's clear to you. Okay, Ayush, as mentioned and by him, first always it's a problem. You come up with the problem. then find a solution to your problem. After that, you decide which tech stack you use, and for that, certainly use coding. Okay. Now, however, it's not a scary process. Even if you are new to coding, it's completely fine. Hackathon is all about trials in the first few goes, so you can have no knowledge or some little knowledge and still participate in it. Okay. Now, the thing is work from home, this particular title, but this applies to both the online and offline hackathons as well, the entire process. Sahil and I have together participated in hackathons and we follow this process as well. Okay. So, first thing is using Git and GitHub. So, for those who don't know what Git and GitHub is, it's basically a platform where you can put your entire project and anyone can access it. Okay, so it's open source that way. So, any version system, you can put any project on GitHub and anyone can use it. And Git is just a tool with which you can interact with GitHub. Cool. So why we use it is that, as I said, you can just put any project. So you have a particular project and your entire teams, one of you just create the project, create a repository on GitHub, and then the other teams can access that particular project using the Git commands. Then with that particular process, you can even uh, like manage different, if you want to add any new features or anything, you can do it in that. Now for following Git and GitHub, there is a particular manner. So generally there are a few basic commands like add, push and pull, which you can find anywhere on internet. It's not that hard. You can, there are many video tutorials also on the basics of Git and GitHub. However, when you are in hackathon or something, you want everything clean and clear, because sometimes what can happen is if your teammate and you are like working on the same part of the code, like same lines or same files, and if you push at the same time, it's going to create conflicts and all. So you don't want to waste your time doing that. So what the ideal approach is, that there is something called branches in GitHub. You create a new branch using a particular command, and then you work in that branch. You work on whatever feature you want to work in that branch. Okay. Now every single time, then you push whatever changes you're working for that feature, and then there is something called pull request. You create the pull request, your other teammates can see if it's working, like if that particular feature is right, it's not breaking your code, then it's accepted. So you can go in this process, and there is no hurry in it, because you have like minimum in a hackathon there is a 24 hours at least. So there is no hurry for it. You can do it in a proper process instead of wasting time and solving conflicts and all. Now, another way is doing documentation. Now, the reason for using that is you don't want to spend your entire hackathon like discussing with your teammates what this one will do and what the other person will do. So, to just keep that, there is this thing called Kanban. If you have used Trello or something like that, they have this particular structure known as Kanban, will be showing you as well. So, in that, what you do is like there are different columns you put. So one will be like to do, the other will be in progress, and the third can be done. So when in to dos, you can list all the features you want to include and assign it to some other person in your team. Now, when that person will do the particular is working on that particular feature, he can put it in the in progress column, work on it, push it, okay, and then create a PR and then put it under done. So this way you can keep a track on which all features are done properly, which are in progress, and which are still left to do. And this way it will increase your productivity to a lot, and you can complete your project and even present it to the judges a complete project. Even if it's minimal, you're providing the proper features and every single thing. So now Sahil will show you a demo on how you can do it.
So I've opened this Kanban board. So Kanban boards are part of this project section under GitHub. So anytime you create any repository, what you get is there's a projects tab over here. So once you create a project, you can get access to the Kanban board. So this repository is for one of our projects that we did for Hackverse. Now Hackverse is a hackathon that's conducted by NIT Surat. So what essentially we did was we for the task that we needed to do, we broke it down into several small pieces. So for for example, so every piece has a card. So we just described what kind of job is and what needs to be done in this specific task. So essentially, you're breaking the whole project down in a set of tasks that you need to perform. And we also like noted down who's doing what. So initially, all these cards were in the to-do column. So let's say, for example, I'm doing this, then I'll move this to the in progress column. So that lets my teammates know that I'm working on this specific part of code. And once I'm done with that, what I'll do is I'll move that card to the done column. So essentially, this is a good way to organize who's doing what, keep a well documented structure of your whole project, and keep like let everyone know what the progress is and how is everyone doing. So this really helps a lot, especially during like once the first 12 hours are over, you start to get really tired, so it's very difficult to think. So it's always helpful that you have things written on things that are well documented. So yeah, this is a sample Kanban.
All right, so one question was raised. So the issue has to be assigned to us. Okay, see, it's better that when the particular feature is written in to do, then if you don't want to assign it to someone, just write it in the to do and assign it to yourself. So the other teammates know that you are doing it at least. So you can keep a complete track of what feature is being worked on and what is not yet done. Okay?
So essentially, these are not the rules for hackathon, but these are just tips that help you in throughout your project while you're making your project in during the hackathon. Like no hackathons has these as the rules, but they do have a rule to push your code to the to GitHub or somewhere else. But creating issues, creating PRs, having a Kanban board helps out to smoothen out your own process.
Hmm. We are just giving proper tips on how you can do this hackathons productively. Okay, so next thing is live share. So does everyone know what VS Code is here? Just type 200 if you do know what a VS Code is. Cool. So now VS Code has a lot of extension. Now one of its really cool extension is an extension called live share. So what live share provides is like let's say I'm working on the particular code base. I've created a project and I'm working on the code base. Then I will start a session. Now I will get a invite link, okay, when I start the session, and then I will send those link to other people who, like, I mean my teammates. I'll send the links to my teammates, and those teammates can join this link and join my session. Now the perks is that everyone can work on a single code base itself, okay, so you don't have to like work on different code base and rely on uh, someone creating a PR or doing it. So in this, what you can do is like there is a single code base and all of you are working on it. Okay. So one another perk is that let's say your teammate is stuck at a particular point. So they can just tell you that they are stuck at this particular point and to follow them. So you can directly pin the particular person, and then you will be directly directed to the where the person is. So then you can resolve the particular issue over there and then move on. And in live share it also provides this thing called live share audio, so which is beneficial if it's an online hackathon. And it also provides chat, so you don't have to like talk much during the hackathon. Surely you can interact, it's all new, but every chat and audio call and also the whole code base is just on one entire platform. So it keeps the professionalism and also majorly increases your productivity. So now we'll show you how like you can use this live share properly. So I will show that.
So okay. So I've opened a sample code base in my VS Code. So if you want to install live share, what you need to do is you need to go to the extensions part, um, and then just search out for live share. So there are two extensions which you need to install. There's a live share and there's live share audio. The links for all of these have been mentioned in the link which was shared before in the chat. I'll share the link later as well if you missed that. Don't worry about this. So once you have installed all of these, what you get is this icon on the sidebar. Now this is the live share icon. If you click on it, it would open the session details tab. So
Sal, we can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Great, great. So okay, did you guys miss out something? I explained about how to find it in extensions and all. You could hear that.
Repeat.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, but for some of them missed it, so.
Okay, great, great. I'll repeat this. So I have my VS Code open. Now in this, there is an extension section. All you need to do is you need to search for live share over here. Now once you search for live share, you'll get two extensions. There's live share and live share audio. You just need to install these extensions. Now, installing these will take some time. I've already installed them. The link to these extensions, I'll give them later on. I've provided them in the link tree, which the link for which I've already put in the chat box. I'll put it again. So once these have been installed, you get an icon for live share on the sidebar. If you click on that, it opens up this tab. Now what you need to do is you'll get a link which you can share to your teammates. So what I'll do is I'll share this link with Amy and we'll demo out one session.
Okay, so we're just showing you a process right now, all right? So if at any point you feel you don't understand, do tell us. We'll just refresh it for you. So basically, as you send me the link, I get a particular link. All you need to do is click the link. It'll take you to this particular page and tell you that open Visual Studio Code from there. Then there you just follow simple steps. You keep pressing open, and then just paste this particular URL that you get. So after that, you join the section. It takes a bit of time, but it joins. Follow file will be shared as. Yeah, my net is a bit slow, guys, so just deal with that. But it works normally. Okay, fine. I have joined the session.
Great. So I get the notification that Amy has joined the session, as well as I can see her cursor over here. So she can access all the files on this code base. She can type, she can code anything she wants. So it's like both of us are accessing the same files, same code base, and she can even open any other files in the same code base too. So this this increases productivity greatly. Now let's say I go to some other file and I can get everyone to follow me. So what would happen is essentially any file I want to show to my teammates, I can directly open that file. So if you can see, Amy's cursor has appeared. So essentially, I can keep track of who is doing what, who is on what file, and what they are editing, sort of that stuff. Now, live share also provides other features like um, you can start a session. So you can literally type with your teammates, whoever have joined. At the same time, you can also start an audio call. Now, I won't be starting an audio call since we are on uh, Microsoft Teams call right now, but it works seamlessly as well. And the final feature that is you can share the terminal. So essentially whatever I am typing over here, Amy would be able to see that. So these are kind of the niche features that LiveShare provides, and it is extremely productive when, especially when you're working remotely away from each other. So essentially these are the things for LiveShare. So let's get back.
Hold on a second. Hemant, what part didn't you understand? Like, what did you miss out? Okay. Well, if you have any further doubts, you just type it in the. Anyone can type it in the chat box. We will look into it. All right. So with that, we gave you like the three major tips that can increase your productivity in hackathons. It's pretty great. Please use it if you are participating. So now we'll
So,
move on and talk on dot slash.
so yeah, so dot slash is SVNIT's annual hackathon. So this year it usually happens in January. So for 2020, it was dot slash 3.0. So this was our first hackathon, me and Amy's first hackathon. We were team 12th hour. So we participated in a first hackathon. We were runners up of the hackathon, and we were first among all the teams in SVNIT. So what we did was we created something known as a Chrome extension known as Notes Kitty. Now I'll demo it what it was, and at the same time I'll go over the process that we went through. So as I mentioned before, there is a three-step process. You first pick a problem, you find a solution, and then you choose the tech. So we did the same thing. So the problem was, what I had realized was most of us study for an exam the day before or the night before that exam. So the problem that happens is no one takes notes. We have a very few notes. No one reads textbooks because not enough time to read textbooks. So most of our study happens by googling out things, looking out what concepts over the internet. So the problem is there is the syllabus is very vast and you have a lot of things to cover. So we need to find a very quick way to take notes about all the stuff that we have. So the solution that we came up with was we made a Chrome extension that helps you quickly take notes. So any website you visit, it would extract out all the useful information. Um, and so we used Chrome API and stuff like that as a tech to implement this project. So I'll demo it out. So by the way, this Notes Kitty extension is available on Chrome Web Store. I'll give the link later. So let's say I go to Geeks for Geeks. This is a very standard site that everyone visits. Now, if you notice, like there are lots of things over here. There are ads. There are lots of things that you are not required. Like there's a lot of clutter essentially over here. So what I'll do is I just need to click on our extension and press the clean button. So once I press this button, what happens is it removes all the ads, it removes all the things that it feels are not necessary, and just gives you a simple text, images, and code that are there. Now, in this also some stuff you might not need. You might have to edit this. So we also provide an edit feature. Using that, you can select things which you don't require, and you can directly delete them. So that was the one feature. At the same time, what you can do is you can take your own notes. So you can write stuff. Mm. So essentially you get a very clean view of all the notes that you might need. So I'll edit a few more stuff. So let's say I don't need this part of the code. So I can just directly select all of it and I can delete it. Let's remove this also. Great. So now I guess I feel that my notes are enough. I have all the notes that are required. So finally what I can do is I can press the print button, and what it would do is it would save the file as PDF. If I go to my file. So yeah, so in less than a minute or so, I got 5 pages worth of the notes that I wanted, and everything is it includes all the things that I specifically need as well as the things that I might have added as my personal notes. So essentially, this was Noteskitty was our project that we did for dot slash 3.0.
Okay, so now we have like a basic idea on how you can do things in hackathon. I will be talking about like the fourth installation. So as Sahil said, dot slash is like the annual hackathon of SVA and IT. So dot slash will again be conducted in the next year, that's 2021 in January. The time date is set on 30 to 31st. Okay, it's really fun, but this time it's online. However, I'm sure online and offline hackathons are really fun. Both of them have their perks. And also, I saw a query regarding that if you have the problem and you know the solution and you don't have the technical expertise. So, just let me tell you one thing that if if you have the problem and the solution, that's really good. And also you're taking a team with you, okay? So you may or may not have knowledge in any of the programming language or anything. That's completely fine. So what I suggest is like from a week or two or a week ago, or like just practice a bit of any programming language, because the syntax changes but the method remains same. All right, so programming language is easy to implement, but getting the problem and the solution is the hard part. Okay, so anyone can register for the hackathon, and dot slash registration is free of course. Okay, so just register, and then when you appear for the hackathon, you will have some knowledge. And even if you're stuck at some technical point of view, so that's completely fine. There is always Stack Overflow, Google, YouTube, everything. Okay, and this hackathon's usually 30 hours or something, 24 hours to 30 hours, so you don't have to like worry about it anyways. So it's a seamless flow every single time. Even Sahil and I search in hackathons because we get stuck at a point and we don't know how to implement, or we face some weird errors or something. We just search on net and we get the solution. We try different options, but you don't have to like worry during the hackathon. Just enjoy yourself, calm down, and do the solution. But always like come up with a good unique problem and a good unique solution. Because in a hackathon, even if you made the project, you are going to show to the judges. Now, when you show it to the judges, you're going to like talk about it. Okay, so if your problem and your solution like creates a spark in them, like it's completely unique and so cool or something, then that's a good point. Now you can show whatever features you have made to them. If it's impressive, they will like it. And that's there. Just give your best shot. All right. Hackathons, you can register how many you want. With more hackathons, you'll get more practice. With more practice, you can easily ace. You can always get an increase in skill set, never to worry about any of your thing. All right, so now we'll be moving on and talking about how you can actually have fun in hackathons, because it's not only about coding. Okay, so let's say first I'll just talk about offline hackathons, then online hackathons. I'll just talk in my experience sense. So with offline hackathons, it's like every single offline hackathon has this thing called photo booth. Every hackathon, it's like a signature thing. So if you participate in an offline hackathon, please take pictures at the photo booth. It's like some signature, like you have been there. Okay, it's pretty fun also. Other than that, there are always different games to like calm your mind, and music in some of them, and also there is plenty of good food service. It's really good food. It's not going to be like the mess or something. Okay, so there is always games, music. You can interact with so many different people, and you make connections. Then you talk with your teammates. Then click weird ass photos, take breaks. Because the thing is that if you have fun and calm your mind, you can think more clearly. And it's 30 hours. For me, I never sleep in any of the hackathons, so I do need the kind of fun to stay awake. And you have unlimited amount of coffee in offline hackathons, so it keeps you awake. Now talking about online hackathons. So online hackathons, it's basically you don't have food services or unlimited coffees or photo booths, but in replace to photo booths, in some of the hackathons you see something like badges or something, uh, and you can, that's like the signature move. So that's similar to the photo booth thing. Other than that, online hackathons, the interaction and all is always held on the Discord servers or on Slack channels. Okay, so on either of them, there are always many channels like chess competitions, then music players, then Kahoot quizzes. People play Kahoot quizzes as well. Okay, so it's really fun. You can spend your time doing that, and also you can get unlimited coffee at your home, so that's no problem with that. And the other thing with online hackathon, I find a perk is that uh, there are like a lot of sessions that are connect that start from like days before. Okay, so you are already getting in the whole rhythm of the hackathon, so it gets really fun. You start making more and more connections because many people come in online hackathon. There is no travel cost or something in that, so it's pretty good. You come to know too many people, you enjoy also a lot. And this is, I'm just speaking from my experience. All right. So